Getting bit by a rattlesnake is a fairly rare occurrence, but getting bit by the same rattlesnake twice, 10 years apart, it's a virtual impossibility. But it actually happened to me, and we're going to talk about it this time on K6UDA Guns and Ham Radio. For the past 10 years or so, I've had an aversion to Kimbers. I guess the best way to explain it is marrying a stripper. Sane guys don't marry strippers, but this was my stripper. Let's call her Tiffany. By all accounts, a beautiful, beautiful pistol. This is a .45 caliber, true 1911 in a very compact officer's model size, perfect for concealed carry. Look at this thing. This is absolutely gorgeous. I bought it, and from the get-go, I had problems. Put 1,000 rounds through it to break it in, and then call us with any problems. So I put 1,000 rounds through it, and I shot a lot. Actually, I put about 2,500 rounds through the Ultra Carry, and I kept having the same problem. My Ultra Carry, every once in a while, would end up like this, just slightly out of battery. And it would happen very randomly. It would fire a whole bunch of rounds, and then all of a sudden, this is what I would get, and it would just not work. Anyway, this was back in the days when I was in full-time law enforcement, and I called Kimber's law enforcement department, and I talked to them. You got to fire 1,500 rounds through the thing to properly break it in and make sure everything's working good, and it's got to be properly oiled and everything. Guys, I had put about 2,000 rounds through that pistol. I did everything right. I oiled it. I cleaned it. I did everything for that pistol. Finally, I replaced the main spring with a 21-pound spring, and lo and behold, the pistol started working right, but Kimber was insistent that I can't use the 21-pound spring. You have to use the 18-pound spring, or else you'll crack the frame on that aluminum pistol. I got so fed up, I swore off Kimber. I decided I will never, ever buy a Kimber again. I was pissed. 10 years goes by. I'm at my local gun store, poking around, and what do I see? A brand new Kimber double stack 1911, all outfitted, just gorgeous. I mean, look at this. Double stack 1911, 18 round capacity. The mag release is configurable so I could put it on the right hand side for my left hand use. Comes stock with an optics plate. I quickly picked up a Holosun 507K, threw that on. Very updated, modern design on a classic 1911. And I thought to myself, you know what? I have seen reviews on this from all the big guys, and they've all picked it up out of the box and said that it worked absolutely flawlessly. So for all practical purposes, I went to another strip club. I picked up Tiffany's daughter, brought her home, and this is what I got. Well, that's not a good start now, is it? All right, here we go. What is up? Oh, failure to feed, the very first one. You guessed it, the very first round, Tiffany's daughter was just like her. Now you got to keep in mind, It isn't like going to ham radio outlet and buying a bad radio. You take it back, they return it, give you a new one, and all is good. Now, unlike a radio, this thing's got my serial number on here, so you just can't take the thing back to the store and swap it out for another one. Now you got to deal with Kimber. So, having dealt with Kimber 10 years before, I knew they were going to say, oh, you got to break the thing in. So I put 800 rounds through this gun over the next week or so. And it kept having the same issue, the same problem. Along comes my buddy Ken, amateur gunsmith. And thank you, Ken, because Ken took this thing apart, took the ejector out, worked the ejector over, filed it down, did a little bit more filing, and finally, this gun is ready for prime time. Back to this, we're going to burn down the last of the 9mm. We'll see how many misfeeds we get right off the bat. Boom. Yep. Right off the freaking bat. Fuck you. And again. Again. And again. And again. Ah! You're going back to Kimber. Kimber, how do you do this? How do you charge $1,600 for a gun that doesn't work? This is insanity. Yeah. So, back into Ken's workshop we go for round 2 of the extractor files.
It's really smooth. So it doesn't hang up. It doesn't bite into anything, you know?
But after the second time Ken got done with the extractor, we took it back out. It worked like a champ. Not a misfire at all. Like I said, it was butt-ass cold out there, so we didn't film. Went out to the range. I shot probably another 300-400 rounds through the Kimber. Didn't have a hiccup. I decided I'm going to start carrying the Kimber on a daily basis because it is stable. It's a great little gun. I really like it. Really like it now after a bunch of plastic surgery, Tiffany. Thank you. So with that, let's go out to California and we'll finish the rest of the review.